This is John Becker. Welcome to Chapter 10, Calculating the Federal Estate Tax that an Estate Will Pay. In Chapter 9, the discussion was an important start toward identifying the impact that taxes will have on a person's estate after their death. In Chapter 10, the primary focus is on calculating the federal estate tax that's applicable to the estate of a person who dies. As Chapter 9 notes, a series of amendments were made to the federal estate tax law in 2001 that included various changes that were phased in between 2001 and January 1, 2010. In particular, one of those 2001 amendments provided that the entire federal estate tax would be repealed, but only for people who died in the year 2010. On December 17, 2010, Congress passed new rules that are effective for deaths occurring after December 31, 2009 and before January 1, 2013. Therefore, if a person died in 2010 before the 2010 amendments were passed, they would be in the situation where at the time of their death there would be no estate tax, as it had been repealed by the 2001 amendments, but a later law, namely the 2010 amendments, would reestablish the estate tax and make it applicable to all of 2010, when the decedent could do nothing about avoiding that particular tax, having died before the changes were introduced. Deaths that occur in 2010 before December 17th are subject to a special set of rules that give the estate of people who died in that situation the opportunity to make a special election that will be discussed in Chapter 10. But it must be noted that the special election discussion is limited only to those people who died in 2010 before December 17th. Deaths occurring after December 17th will be subject to the rules described in the 2010 amendments. After January 1, 2013, the 2010 amendments provide that the law in place in 2001 returns and becomes effective in 2013. For purposes of the discussion in Chapter 10, it will be presumed that the situation being considered is that of a person who dies after December 17, 2010, and before January 1, 2013. In that scenario, the provisions of the 2010 amendments would apply.